So yay, a LeMans project. I'm going to fight with this and see if I can get the knob off of the shaft. It's bent, it's stuck, it's seized. You don't need to watch me or listen to me fight with it, because it could get ugly. Once I get that knob off, then I'll turn this back on and hopefully we'll have some more things to show. Okay, I messed with it and was able to actually get the shaft to pull out some. Hopefully that's enough for me to get the vice grips on. Okay. Well, wish me luck here. Guess if worst comes to worst, I get another knob. Oh, look at that. It rotates. Okay, so with that off, see what we can do next. It looks like the housing require need to pry back on some of these little crimped in portions. Maybe vice grips was the right tool for the job. Okay, some cleaning to do there. Okay, so this would pull all the way out in order to adjust, but things are bent, so we'll take care of that later. Okay, and that just presses out. And this is what you can buy a replacement for from Ames or some other vendor. You can clean this off and probably shoot it with some primer and so forth to take care of the rust. I don't remember if those are supposed to stay bent like that or not. Probably kind of looking at it at an angle following that and that. So anyway, we'll leave them alone at this point. So these movements are freed up. This would get 12 volts, and then the body is grounded through this tab, which in turn is grounded to the frame, which in turn goes to the dash, which is grounded. So there's a part of me that wants to straighten this out some, but there's also a part of me that doesn't want to mess with it, maybe because now that we have it apart. ideally I wouldn't take all this apart. I guess we'll start by spraying it with some WD-40 and seeing if we can get things to move. But let's first deal one thing at a time here. First of all, let's see if and how much I need to bend the stem. Okay, so that sits like that. Okay. So in looking at this, if I bend that, it will most certainly not go through the hole. So I'm going to assume this was not damaged and everything's supposed to be at an angle on purpose. So now back to the movement. Okay, so that is bent there where the knob goes. Maybe that's what I was dealing with. So everything else looking at this, I don't see that the threads are damaged. It certainly doesn't want to screw back on there happily. But again, that could be because of the deformation. But anyway, things want to turn. At this point, I think I need to assume that the shaft down the center It's moving. So that was movement of the second hand, which, when energized by the 12-volt electromagnet, it loads that, which then starts the second hand to move, which in turn feeds back through to the minute hand and the hour hand. And then once it runs, then a contact closes, 12 volts energizes the electromagnet again, and the party continues. Oh, there we go. Okay, get a paper towel and wipe off the face of that, or in this case a rag. My wish list, I'd love to have one of those paper towel dispensers like you see in restrooms. Okay. I guess we'll see if we can get this to work. My intent is to try to set this up so that it will run overnight and I can see if the time actually changes. Look at that. I like it. Alright, I think we'll call that a success for now. Let this thing run overnight and see what happens. I suppose I could set it to the time now and see how close it keeps time. Put you back up in here. Alright, sorry it's upside down, but it's set to basically the right time. I've straightened the stem out some, and it's obviously clicking away. So, other than replacing the lens, I think its clock is pretty good to go. Maybe working on the frame, like I said, or maybe not. We'll see. Alright, we're going to see how this cleans up. off with some more paper towel and take it out to the garage and see how it looks. So there it is, mounted. And yes, if you overlay the fascia or whatever that is called, then the parts that were not in good, that had some staining left on them, should be covered. Boy, if only the speedometer label was not so nasty. Because those look fine, I'm afraid that when I get a replacement for that, then those will look bad. Oh well. Can't win them all.